sorry to interrupt. I need to talk with Stephanie. Alone.
Look, I appreciate that you have come here to speak on behalf of your brother, but Katie, it's not going to make any difference.
I think I understand where you're coming from.
Do you?
Yes. I can understand what it must be like to lose someone to someone else. I can imagine how devastating that is. How it must play on your insecurities, make you feel less than, insignificant. Even for someone like you who's so strong and so smart, it must make you feel small.
That sounds like something my daughter Felicia would say, not one of you Logan girls.
Yeah, well, I happen to believe that the Forresters and the Logans have a lot more in common than what you think. Like loyalty, compassion. My brother did a terrible, terrible thing. And in my head, I can totally understand why you would want to lock him up and throw away the key. In my head, I have a hard time defending him, but in my heart, he's just my brother. He's the person who is always there for me, cheering me on from the sidelines, building me up when I felt small, defending me no matter what.
I see that you love him and that he's very dear to you. But this isn't going to change what I'm going to do.
You see, I just thought that you might be able to understand what it's like to grow up in a home that's less than ideal. For Storm, every day he woke up wondering if the electricity might be cut off or how we were going to pay the rent. And he must have been so angry, so resentful, that he had to grow up so fast, that he had to be the parent. But you say to yourself, what do? You put one foot in front of the other. You make sacrifices because you're a survivor. Doesn't that sound familiar? From what I understand, your childhood was no picnic either.
Oh, well, this isn't about my childhood.
But you know what it's like to grow up angry, don't you? And to focus all that anger on one person, regardless of whether she deserves it. That kind of rage can make people do terrible things. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you? You have focused all your anger on Brooke for so many years. How many terrible things did it make you do?
What you say is true. And I do understand. Father-son relationships are very complex, and I know your brother has an enormous amount of rage where your father is concerned, but Katie, is that an excuse to put a bullet in me?
I'm not trying to excuse him. I'm just You say you understand. This is about so much more than understanding. This is about compassion and forgiveness. My brother is not just someone who picked up a gun and pulled the trigger and should be punished. You can't make it that simple. Where is your compassion? You have to try and find that in yourself, Stephanie. You're human and you've been hurt physically, emotionally, and you're angry. But you can't let that anger take over. You have to try to find your heart. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for my family. Don't even do it for Storm. Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself, or I promise you, you will live to regret it.
Interesting conclusion you've drawn. I help your brother, show him compassion, and somehow I end up helping myself.
Think about it. Why was Eric so vulnerable to another woman? Hasn't he been crying out for your love, for your compassion for so many years? You can show it to him by showing it to my brother.
Your logic is rather self-serving.
Maybe this is an opportunity for you, Stephanie. An opportunity to change your life. These things don't come around all that often. Maybe this is a chance for you to do something really big. Surprise people. Surprise yourself. Maybe this is a chance for you to start healing those old wounds. Letting go of some of that anger.
I'm sorry, Katie.